And we're back for another edition of Relationship Hour every Tuesday here at Sam Sylk's. How we doing today, ladies?
What's going on? It's my girl Key Lolo on the ones and twos, setting the mood.
Back from the Essence Fest.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
you was doing Essence Fest, girl.
I did. It was really nice. My first time in New Orleans. I had a really good time.
How was it? Like, what was the most fun thing you saw?
Probably the parties. At the Fillmore, I guess it's like a famous venue down there, the Fillmore. Bunch of performances. I saw Nas and Jadakiss and Ghostface Killah and a bunch of rappers. It was a good time. And I'll be DJing next year.
Were they flashing boobies down there?
No, unfortunately, I didn't see any boobies.
No boobs.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw plenty when I was in New Orleans.
When I think New Orleans,
But I was at a power plant, though, so I didn't want to see those types.
Well, no, you probably didn't want to see those at all. Come on over. You still have time to join the conversation. It's Relationship Hour, and we love to get your take on some really good conversations about relationships. I'm Kenya Brown. We're at 21300 Libby Road. Come on by, order some food. The food is awesome. And listen,
Excellent
y'all,
food.
the drinks are awesome as well. And I have my esteemed co-host right here.
You made me look behind me. Who's standing behind me? Who got a steam?
Big Rich Greene.
What's up, y'all? Big Rich in the house.
Oh, you're doing big things in comedy, right?
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you know, I'll be performing at Foreman Mills next weekend. And
Foreman Mills.
Yeah, I just got off the Goodwill tour, so, you know, it's going
That
well.
ought to be awesome. That ought to be awesome. All right, y'all. So I'm your girl, Kenya Brown, and we're going to get into some great conversations because it's very important these days that we talk. You know, it's so many things on social media that, you know, you get all of the people's opinions that match yours on social media. So you really don't get diverse opinions and have real conversations about things. So this is our bridge to have some of those conversations, and we love having those conversations with you. What's up to my guy, Sam Sylk? Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yes, he'll be back next week. But
Hey, let's give it up to him
Yeah.
and his lovely wife.
this beautiful, beautiful queen, Miss Zenobia. What's up,
This is
y'all?
Z.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get into some relationship talk. Rich, you've done this with me before, so we're just going to dive into some of the questions. And when you come here for Relationship Hour, you get a chance to be involved in the conversation. You know, we take your topics, and we also take your opinions. We love to have these conversations. But, all right, we're going to start it off at the top. What do you do if your sex drive is different than your partner's? What y'all think?
So, what do you do if your sex drive is different than your partner's? Like one is higher, one is lower, or just
Yeah,
different?
Just different.
Just different. Oh my goodness, that's a good question. I know what I do.
What do you do? What do you do?
Suffer in silence. It's called marriage, is what it is. That's every married man on this planet right there. You know, his sex drive still exists. So I told you about that. You know, you can't let them eat that wedding cake because it reduces sex drive. So
Is that what happens?
That's
Right after you eat the wedding cake, that's when your sex drive just tanks.
yeah, it doesn't kick in till right after the honeymoon. You know,
Oh, man.
yeah, till she
So
becomes
what's the
best.
cure for it? What's the cure? Help us out. What do you do?
Side chicks.
Oh,
I'm sorry, that's not the cure. Oh, that's not what I'm supposed to say, right?
Key Lolo, help me out, girl.
Or, I mean,
He says side chicks is the cure.
if your drive is significantly lower than your partner's, I would say that you would probably just have to like try to spice it up however you can. You know, get some toys or something, watch some YouTube videos. I don't know, like take some herbs. You know, some of the herbal
Wait, she said
supplements.
some herbs.
She said take some
Yeah,
herbs.
y'all
Said
gotta
take some
compromise.
herbs, girl. Where you gonna get
No.
these herbs from, honey?
But you know what? I think she has merit in what she's saying. If you could change your diet, I think that you should try everything. Like, let's say the man's sexual appetite is lower than the woman's.
Right.
And that could be very frustrating, I would assume, for a woman, because a woman gets hit on every single day. Like a guy, we happy. If a girl even say hello to us, we thought we did, man. Look, I still got it. She said hello to me. Oh,
Yes.
you lucky you got me. Y'all get a hello every 15 minutes of your life. Like,
Man, listen.
so if his is low, I really think that it's a definite emergency because you're taking a chance. You don't want to send your mate out there without any armor. So,
Wow.
you know, you sending her out there unprotected. Intimacy can show love for people too. I mean, that's how you feel closer. When you're in a sexless relationship, it's hard, especially if your drive is higher. And I'm speaking just a man looking at a woman. I can imagine it would be even worse for a woman. I think as men, we suffer from that all the time, where we want it every day, every 5 minutes. So yeah. So, but for a woman, I would just think that's very difficult. And I think it's very important too to tell your woman how beautiful she is, how what she means to you. It ain't always about physical beauty, but just letting her know you admire her, you appreciate her. Because sometimes it's not always about sex; it's about intimacy.
Absolutely.
So you better find other ways to tap into her sexual spirit other than the physical, if you can.
And I think people forget to date each other. I think that sometimes once you get into a relationship, you think, okay, well, you know, we buy this stuff, we got this stuff, we got these kids, and we got to go to work, we got to pay these bills, and you forget to date each other. You forget to do all of those things that, you know, attracted him to you or her to you or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So you have to take time for that in your relationship, because sometimes the sex drive might drop because you're just simply not putting forward an effort, you know what I mean, to make her feel like she still looks good. You know what I'm saying? We got the baby vomit on our shoulder. We tired. We broke down. We done been doing laundry all day. We got the bonnet on our head. You know what I'm saying? You got to take time to spark that sexy woman in her for her to feel sexy. I mean, she ain't feeling sexy next to all that laundry.
You know, I think that you have a point. It's still having courtesy with each other.
Yes.
You know, now, but we were talking about sex drives. So I think Lolo hit it on the head. Change your diet first. You know, get some more sleep, get more rest. Find out what it is that's happening in your life that's making you tired. Sometimes it's stress, it's kids, it's jobs, it's bills. Most of the time, I think with most couples, it's going to be finances.
Ooh.
You know, it's
Yes.
hard to feel sexy and you think your light's going to get cut off. Or every time you hear something pull up to your house, you're thinking there's somebody come and cut your gas off. Or, you know, that's a stressful feeling. So how can you feel sexy that way?
Yeah, and if you have something that just doesn't feel right within your body, because sometimes hormones change, you know, things change, but a lot of times we have that bravado up to say, you know, we don't want to admit that something might be wrong. So you're not going to the doctor. You're not doing all the things that you might need to do to remedy those problems just out of pure ego. Instead of leaning on your partner, you might allow them to feel like maybe they're not attractive to you anymore. So you have to be willing to have these conversations to say, okay, we're not matching right now. So is there something I can do? You know, is it something that you like that I'm missing? Something you saw on TV, on Pornhub, or whatever. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it takes.
Well, I think for a woman, it's easy to turn a man on in most cases.
Do you think so?
In most cases.
Not if there's a medical issue now.
Now, that's what I was about to get
Classic.
to. Now,
Yeah.
there's a medical issue, fellas. Go get your prostate checked out.
Check
go
it.
go get your testosterone checked out.
Check it.
You got low T. I mean, I think as men, especially talking to our demographic, black men, we have an aversion of going to the doctor, of seeing what's wrong. So you sitting there, you think you're suffering in silence, but if you suffering, your woman's suffering too. So you
Yeah.
got to kind of take her into consideration, and that goes back to the number one thing in relationships is just being considerate to one another.
Absolutely.
When we go outside, we open doors for strangers. You say thank you to people you never met. You compliment people that don't mean anything to you in your life just because you're a good person. But then you come home and you forget all those manners. it starts at home. Charity begins at home. If you consider it to each other, you should be able to talk about anything. And ladies, if we're not pleasing you, tell us. I think we try to guess a lot of times.
Please.
Y'all gotta tell us.
Move a little to the right, honey. You know, do the swirl thing or something. Yeah, I don't know. Something. You have to communicate all of those things. And hopefully your partner will be accepting enough to say, okay, well, she like a little freaky deaky, or, she likes a little something different. Something a little different. And we're going to try that.
And fellas, don't be judgmental, because if you sit there and you make your woman feel bad about being a sexual being, or you might call her a name or act in an adverse way, she may not want to do that again. And you may not be able to elicit that situation out of her again, because women don't like being embarrassed. Y'all egos, a woman's ego is bigger than a man's when it comes to sex.
Well, nobody likes to be embarrassed.
No, if you turn a woman down, she damn near gonna kill you. Y'all don't get no off there.
That's a big blow. A man turned you down? Like, you don't want this? What? You don't want this right here? Oh, okay. You ain't gonna get nothing for a year now.
See that vindictiveness, federal? So I was waiting for that to come on out.
Oh, that came out? I'm
it
sorry.
came out. What's up, Instagram joining us, y'all?
Yeah, what's up, y'all? All right. So, and I just wanted to touch on one other thing that you said. You mentioned intimacy. Is sex the same as intimacy? Do people confuse the two?
I know I have, and I think yes. That's an easy one. Yes, intimacy sometimes could just be a conversation. A lot of times when you see a married man going to the bar, not coming home directly, driving around the block 100 times, it's not because he's thinking about sex necessarily. He want to go have an intimate conversation with somebody, and it's not sexual. It's like, I want to talk about something that I might not be able to talk about with you. I want to go shoot some pool with my boys. I want to go smoke a cigar. I got to unwind. Now, I don't know how women do it. I'm only speaking from a man's point of view. I'm pretty sure that women probably have their ways. It might be a girl's night out.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing women got down, I think, more than men. Y'all could be emotionally there for each other. Y'all could have a day where all y'all get together, drink mimosas, and be crying y'all asses off.
Now, that's funny, because I'm the girl that's always cool with all the guys. You know what I'm saying? I just have always been that girl with all the dudes talking crap, listening to y'all talk about other women. That's just, so I knew what not to do. So, thank you guys. I appreciate all my friends. Thank you.
She's a chameleon, y'all.
Listen, okay. So, all right, we're going to move on to the next question. So, met a female, had, I don't know, relations, then met her sister. You have more in common with sis. Should I pursue something?
Read that again. I want to make sure I
so
got you
messy.
down.
This is all type of messy right here.
Very messy.
See how people will just lead you astray? How you caught up in some mess you ain't even trying to be caught up in? Okay, so the best I can interpret from this, met a female, had, what is this, relation? Is that saying relations? Okay. And so then met her sister. You have more in common with sis. Should I pursue something?
Well, my question would be, how do you know how much you have in common with the sisters? So out the gate, I think you doing wrong,
You're just being a creep.
Yeah, like
I'm
I met the
sorry.
sister, now I want her too. Like, you're just greedy.
Just greedy for no reason. I don't know.
And real quick, I missed a comment from Kimberly Harris. She said, this is about the last subject. You make sure everything is good at home. Tell your man how handsome he is looking also.
Facts.
Your woman, you women, just make sure everything is okay. And Melinda Nelly Marquez said, Chief Ardena, okay, I don't know what she said.
Okay,
She shouted
we
out
don't know
somebody.
what you said, girl. But what's up, girl? Thank you for watching.
By Cleveland Public School Education. So I'm dating the sister, but I found the other sister more attractive. Is that?
Yeah, I guess he has more in common with the sister. So he wants to know, should he pursue something with the sister?
It's too late, player. You stuck. you should have been her friend at first. And this, ladies, this really for the ladies too. Before you commit to that guy, make sure you meet his whole clique. Because how many times women, y'all been out with your dude, and his
Meet
friends
the
come
whole
out,
clique. Just meet everybody.
and
What's
then he
up?
bring that one friend,
Hey,
you like, what is, I
What's
didn't know
your
you
name?
knew The Rock.
you be
You
mad.
gotta tell me if you know Dwayne
You be
Johnson.
so mad, like, dang.
Is that Idris Elba?
And
And I
he's
settled for
single?
you?
Aw,
Now you sitting there with Barney Fife and Idris sitting on the other side. So,
dang. He told me he had benefits.
but I think though, what I'm hearing is, what if you just more emotionally compatible with the sister? Like you, it doesn't, because it's
That's
not
a
always.
creep move, Rich.
Eh,
Come
see,
on.
see, come
Okay,
on.
but go ahead.
I'm making this guy more nuanced than this question probably is. This is all I'm saying. You know, because black men don't cheat, so I know I got to be more about this.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know where all that laughter in the background is coming from, but
Girl, you hear this foolishness right now. You hear this
so
foolishness.
I know that it had to be. See, there you go, brother.
Talking about,
There you
yeah,
go.
that's right.
Black man power
okay.
right there.
Okay,
Black
y'all.
man power. But
we gonna let that slide.
it sounds like he's just saying, what if you see that you have more in common emotionally with the sister, not physically?
Too bad, so sad, sir.
Yeah, it's nothing you can do about it. That's just like if you like the woman's girl. Like women, y'all got this rule, which is crazy to men. Let me just tell you something. When the fella's out and it's a girl there, and it's one of the guys that like that girl, and he go over there and she shoot him down, right? Another guy from the clique might go over and say, hey, what's going on, right?
Right.
But women, if a woman like a guy over there and that guy shoot her down, none of the women she came with could talk to that guy. What is that? I ain't mean to derail this, but I don't get that
That's
one.
not true. I mean, you know,
She gonna hate you forever.
Yeah, she might act like it's cool, but she really gonna feel some type of way
if she shot him down.
if he shot her down, and then he's like, "Well, I like your friend."
Ooh.
And you kind of like,
Well,
Well, see, it's the
still
same
fair
thing.
game, though, right?
Well, women don't believe that because you could have talked to a guy in second grade, and you, and you,
Not second grade.
you 37 years old now. Your friend like, he was my boyfriend in second grade. We shared a
Second
lollipop
grade?
together. You can't talk to him.
You ain't even have no parts in second grade. It don't count till you have parts.
I agree.
Well, she had jealousy. Kimberly Harris went on and said, trying to eat his cake with both of them. That's what she said. That guy sounds like the guy's trying to eat the cake with both women.
He's being greedy. Sir, sit down. Yes. Okay.
That poor man, y'all just characterized this man, and he asked an earnest question. I'm with you, brother. Whichever one of you brothers wrote that, I'm with you, brother.
All right. We're going to move on to the next question. All right. What do you do if you're in a new relationship but still in love with your ex? Will the feelings subside? Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah. Well, I think we all been there. It's called a rebound.
No.
The easiest way to get over somebody is, well, I don't want to say it.
Under somebody else.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it like that, but yes,
But
you
see-
need somebody else to have your attention.
Y'all hear Key Lolo, right? See, that's a woman's solution to everything. Girl, I'm going to get over him by getting out of this one. Ain't that a song imported by Black and Jesse Reyes? I think I heard that. We're going to play imported later. That's horrible.
Only if you can be abusive to the next guy. Like, get your shower and get out of here. I don't know. Take your keys. Take your shoes. I don't know.
You walk around calling him Rodman. He like, why you going to call me? Why you calling me Rodman?
Like, shut up.
You
do
just
what
a
I say.
rebound. You my rebound, dude. You mean nothing.
Look, say this sentence right here.
You hear this, fellas, right? Our feelings are getting crushed. See, the man in here, I hope they're listening to this. I hope they're listening to this. You see, they going to use you to get over that last guy. So she's still in love with her ex, y'all. Don't believe that.
I'm sure a lot of people would volunteer to help women get over the hump.
Yeah, men don't mind being a rebound.
Right.
Y'all don't mind.
They don't have no love lost.
Oh, we mind. We mind.
I'm
I'm going to tell you what they do,
really?
fellas.
Tell me how much
Fellas,
you
if you
mind.
ever drink too much, you just get with a girl, right, and she was in love with somebody, and y'all been drinking, and you fall asleep in the car, guess what she gonna do? She gonna drive past her ex's house while you still in the car asleep to see who he with. Don't act like y'all ain't done that.
Oh, no. Not with the new dude in the car. Oh, no.
Yes, that's never happened before in history, people.
Wow.
You sound like you was the dude that was asleep while she was driving by.
You know what? We ain't gonna be bringing my personal business in here.
I think he peeked or something. He was the dude riding past the other dude's house.
All I can tell you is I needed bail money that weekend. That's all I can tell you.
That's so unfortunate. Okay, so I don't know, girlfriend. I don't know what you would do if you're still in love with your ex. Get back with your ex. Is it a bad situation? Is he, putting his hands on you, or?
But you know what? Most likely, if you're still in love with somebody else, it was some sort of disappointment that they gave you that made you walk away.
It was some abrupt type of end
yeah.
if you still harboring feelings. Okay, well, good luck with that. I don't know.
They so dismissive today, okay? Y'all hard. I hope y'all hear this, fellas. All y'all that's in love with Key Lolo and Kenya, y'all hope y'all listening right now. They got an ice box in their chest, boy. There's Omarion over here. I'm just waiting on them to start that. I'm going to start singing like Ray J over here.
Hey, listen, that's all I know how to do is just be me. It just is what it is. Hey. All right, so should couples have separate checking and savings accounts? Hell yes.
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 Notice the women said that very quickly. Yes.
Yes.
Secret accounts. Every woman has a secret checking account. I'm just saying that.
It doesn't have to be secret. It doesn't have to be a secret, but yes, let's just keep this all separate. We got the household stuff.
Hold on, I'm gonna go talk to a man.
Hold on, no.
We gonna get a microphone over here. We gonna get some men's opinions.
Okay. All right. So you gotta back me up, girlfriend. If he get loose, you know what I'm saying.
You know a woman's motto.
She got me right here. Right here.
A woman's motto was mine is mine and was his is mine.
Well, what's wrong with that? I don't see the flaw.
Talk to me, family.
Because women always count your money.
Ooh.
They always.
We not supposed to?
Well, why we got to have separate then? If you want to count our money.
Well, we just want to know what you're supposed to be putting in the pot. You know what I'm saying?
So you putting that logic down. You see how they try to move that goalpost? You put that logic down. Like, well, what?
We just want to put accurate expectations on y'all money. You know what I'm saying?
Accurate expectations on our money?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I mean, you don't want to be doing too much. You don't want to do too much. You just be like, okay, babe, let me see the balance sheet. Okay, we could afford this.
Did y'all hear him?
No.
I work at the Dollar Tree, baby, so how much separate?
Well, what's your discount looking like this week?
There you go.
Shoot. We gonna make it pop.
I got a bunch of stuff in layaway. $10 worth of stuff in layaway, baby. I got you, girl.
That's right. Treat me to the finer things while you playing. Shoot. No.
$1.25 now. I'm balling. Oh man, but he hit it on the head. He's like, if you want to keep it separate, keep it separate. I mean, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
No, you can have things together to pay family bills and things like that. But, if he wants to buy, whatever guys buy, I don't know, electronics or phones or whatever it is that chainsaws, whatever guys like.
Prostitutes.
Yeah, a little booty from now and then. But don't let that come out of my account. I mean, you do that out of your expenses. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the mall. I'm going to buy some shoes. I'm going to look online and buy some clothes. And I don't want to hear you tell me that my purchase is invalid, okay? Because this is my money over here. You buy your chainsaws or your hammers or your wrenches or whatever it is that guys fancy, your hats and sunglasses.
I can't come to you for a hot $40.
She getting personal now. Hold on. Kimberly Harris online said, she said, once you move on, just make sure, this is about the last subject about being in love with somebody. Make sure the door is closed before you move on to the next relationship. Close that door is going to cause a problem if you're in your next relationship. When you're not having sex, you call out, when you're having sex and you call out his name, that's a problem. So close that door. Yeah, you're going to get a door slammed in your face after you do that. Kimberly said, what is mine and what is his is mine too.
All right.
You know what? No, I think you should have separate accounts. and I think you should pay bills together. I'm just gonna keep it 100. I think you should have separate accounts, but should everything be 50-50 in a relationship?
In a relationship
who would mind
or
if- I mean,
financially?
50-50. What's up, Playboy? That's
50-50.
50-50.
I mean, 50-50 of what?
okay. He pays the mortgage,
Exactly.
and then you pay the utilities.
Why I gotta be 50-50?
Okay,
Why-
he pays the mortgage, and then half of all the utilities, and you pay half.
How come he can't pay the bills and then I buy my clothes and my things that I like? No,
Y'all hear this, right?
that's not the right.
Rick,
That was mine.
we pay.
You heard that cough back there, right?
We
Could you do
pay
that
the
cough
bills.
again for me, sir?
If I'm buying my own stuff,
Yes,
I'm not asking you for money.
right.
So you take care of the house,
Right.
and I take care of myself.
I'm gonna get my own hair did, my own pedicure.
So I'm
my
coming
own-
to you for that hot $40 too that I need for that.
Say that.
That prostitute. So.
That's right.
No, that's all on you, Brad. That's all.
Hold on, let me read from the book of Kevin Samuel real quick.
Well, he having some issues right now. He cannot be reached. All right. All right, next question. Have you ever experienced a relationship in which your significant other took shots at you and belittled you in front of people? Yeah.
Yeah, see, that sounds like an insecure, but you've had that? How did you deal with that?
Well, I mean, you have to realize that whatever it is that is causing them to try to belittle you, it's something in them. It's not you, it's them. So you have to kind of separate yourself from all the negativity. And when you're in a relationship, it is so difficult because it's difficult to separate yourself from something that you're constantly hearing day in and day out. It sometimes becomes a part of you. And even though it's something that you dislike, somehow it just kind of gloms into your self-image, unless you grew up really strong and, more power to you if you did. But a lot of people get into situations and, you have to protect your peace. You have to protect your power. You have to protect your space and the people that you allow into your space because they have so much potential to just throw a wrecking ball into your life. They can make you feel not confident about every decision you make. You just really have to make sure that when you're trying to nurture someone else or some other relationship, that it's not at stake of you. Because if you don't put the oxygen mask on yourself first, then you're no good in a relationship. You're just trying to catch up with whatever that negative and toxic cycle is. So whatever that toxicity is and that is spilling out of them onto you, you have to figure out how to make a distance between that.
Hey, Tremaine Young said, amen. Tremaine Young went on to say, you are so right about that, Kenya. Yes, you are so right about that. So people are agreeing with you. If you just tuning in, the question was, have you ever been in a relationship with somebody that belittles you or puts you down in front of people? And, that's a horrible situation. I think what's crazy is I've seen relationships like that.
Yeah.
And I have one of my homeboys. His wife has a tendency to do that to him around us, and it makes me uncomfortable.
Yes.
And it's led to where I've checked her, because that's just my nature. Hey, no, you ain't gonna do my boy like that in front of me. That's not funny. You could do this around your other friends,
Right.
but you ain't that, because that's my people. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I would say that eventually, once it's recognized and you have enough people tell you, because sometimes you might feel it.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, and it's born of jealousy, I believe.
Ooh.
The person doesn't want you to see how special you are, because they know how lucky they are to be with you, but they don't want you to see your own light shining, because if you shine too bright, it might dim them.
Ooh.
So they find ways to put you down, belittle you, besmirch you, you have to get out that relationship, but you have to be strong enough to love yourself
Yes.
enough to walk away from something like that. And we've all been through it on certain occasions.
Yes.
But when you see it happening, and when you finally have people who love you who tell you about it, that's where it's time to go, because it's getting bad. And don't believe that it's just your friends that see it. Your children see it too.
Yes.
And you want them to
Ooh.
be strong enough to love themselves and be able to walk away. How are they going to be strong if they see mommy and daddy getting abused all the time?
And guess what? You know, we have this thing called a choice to change our mind. You know, even if you accepted that a year ago, 10 years ago, if you have matured in your mind and you feel like, you know what, that doesn't feel good to me. I don't care if this is a part of our regular routine. This doesn't feel good. And you know what? Today, right now, I changed my mind, and you're not going to treat me like that. You have to exercise your right to teach people how to treat you from today. It doesn't matter what you let go last week. It doesn't matter what you let go last year. Today ain't that day. Okay?
Bars.
Yeah.
Bars.
Yeah.
Look, I feel like snapping my fingers out of that one. Those bars right there.
No,
Wait,
it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of
absolutely so right. You hit it right on the head. So I think we all in agreement on that, y'all. Don't put up with that. Don't put up with that BS. If you feel it, just have enough strength to walk away. And if you can't walk away, like, sleep with their best friend.
You know what?
Two
You
wrongs
always
don't
gotta
make a
take it
right,
there.
but in the book of John King, it'll show make you even.
You know what? Don't
always gotta
come
take
up
it
with a
there.
black eye messing around with Rich, okay? People crazy these days, all right? So don't do that, all right? So, all right, next question. Why submit without knowing what you are submitting to? Why submit without knowing what you are submitting to?
All right, this sounds like a woman wrote this.
And your points.
These are supposed to be anonymous. Where my homeboy at? That's my man. What's your name?
He can't help you right now. He can't help you
I
right
can't hear.
now.
I can't hear my brother. What's your name again, brother? Hey, what's up, Ken? Look,
What's up?
as me and Ken would say right there, read that question one more again. Why submit if you don't know what you're submitting to?
Right.
And you know what? That's a good question. And see, then y'all about to be mad at me.
Come on. Come on. What you
Yeah.
got to say?
Y'all wonder why certain men of certain ethnicities go outside their ethnicity to go get certain women who don't look like the ethnicity
Don't do it. Don't
that they
do
part.
it.
Huh?
Don't you do
What?
it.
Don't.
Don't do that.
Boo,
Huh?
boo.
I didn't say anything. I'm just saying. Somebody told me this, you know. 'Cause what?
So are you saying that black men go outside of their race because black women aren't submissive? That's what you're saying?
I never said that. That never came out my mouth.
I think that's
That's what you
Nah.
insinuated.
They do because y'all.
You see how they twist
That's
my
how I
words,
felt.
Facebook?
That's what it made me
I-
feel on the inside.
Oh, really?
You know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, now
y'all wanna
you
slay,
light-skinned, Kenya.
or
I'm
you
just going to
wanna
tell you, somebody went outside of something down your lineage, girl.
Whatever.
You the prime example. Be quiet. No, I would just say this. What are you submitting to? I mean, why does somebody even have to submit, and what do we mean by submit? I think that there's been a bad connotation that's been placed on that word. Because as a man, I submit to you as my woman.
Yeah.
I submit to the fact that I'm going to come home to you. I submit to the fact that I'm going to pay all these bills. I submit to the fact that I'm going to love you and I'm going to love our children. I submit to the fact that I'm going to pay this mortgage. I submit to the fact that I'm not going to sleep with another woman. So what do we mean submitting? So, I mean, that word, it has too many different meanings. When they say submit, it always, to me, seems like the connotation, and it wasn't said in this, so I'm kind of paraphrasing, like you're bowing down or you're being
Yes.
less than.
Right.
No, it's not that. I submit to you when I get on one knee. What does a man do when he asks a woman to marry him? He gets on one knee. Could you submit more than that? Bending the knee? We seen Game of Thrones. When you bend the knee, that means you give up. I gave up my player ways. I submit to you, woman.
Well, that's the whole game plan of it, but yeah.
Submitting just means forsaking.
Yeah.
And you give up certain things when you get in a relationship. You give up that singularity. That I becomes we. So why does one person always feel like they're giving up more than the next? When a man gets with a woman, the first thing we think is all the sex we giving up with these other women. Now, we weren't even having all that other sex, but it was the potential that we might have had that sex.
Potential.
You know,
Yes.
so what a
That
woman,
never was happening.
what a woman is giving up is her individuality. Because in most relationships, when she gets married, I'm talking about marriage, she's changing her last name to his. Now you have where men are changing their name to their wives,
Yeah, I
but
saw that.
that is a submission to a degree. But we're agreeing. It's 50-50. We all
Right.
giving up something. You know what I mean? Now,
Yes.
so if you don't want to submit to me, that's okay. Do I still get to keep all my side hoes? That's what I got to know.
You know what? See, you was on a roll.
Ken,
You had
you with me?
Ken, you don't get in this, Ken. Don't get in this, Ken, because you know
Ken
you
know what I'm
dead wrong.
talking about. But see.
Oh, Eric.
Eric.
See, his name wasn't even Ken. His name is Eric.
Eric.
You just
Oh, we got a few Erics in here, huh?
You just got it all wrong. You just
I gotta.
mess it up.
No, but I don't think that if the person's not right for you, you shouldn't submit to each other, whether male or female. But submitting just means forsaking. So let's stop making it sound like it's some kind of slavery word or you're being put into some sort of bondage because you're not. Now, there's some guys out there that take that serious. There's some women out there that take that serious, you know. But they normally wear like all leather, black, and whip.
You know what?
And then they
That's a whole different.
that was another
thing.
episode.
Yeah, that was taxi cab confessions. All right, Eric, what you got to say? Because what's going on?
I just want to say, relationships, it seems like a lot of problems be the respect factor.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know her life is like a piece of pie. You know, our kids got to get a slice. Her family got a slice. But I have a problem when I get the smallest slice.
Ooh, bars. Y'all heard Eric?
I feel you. He said what he said. Drop the mic. Okay.
Y'all hear them crickets?
I heard, no, but okay. So I feel that
Tremaine,
a
I'm joking, by the way.
A woman who wants to know why she's submitting, if she doesn't know what she's submitting to, is doubting her mate. She's doubting that she can trust him. She's doubting that she can put trust in what he's saying. So she's having trouble saying, okay, you run the ship, babe, because she don't know what the hell you're doing. She don't understand. Something is amiss in the communication. Something is not being taken care of. She's not feeling secure. Now, it could be something that's within the relationship, or it could be something within her past that she just doesn't understand what, real security is in a relationship or what to really be looking for. But to doubt whether or not you would submit, because in any relationship, you're going to have to submit. You are going to have to put your trust in another human being, and you are going to, hopefully, they're going to do the right thing with that trust. But for somebody who is saying, I'm having trouble submitting to you, they're saying, I don't trust you.
Bars. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And we do that as men. We do that to you, to women. And now I'm talking to the man. I'm going to be serious. Just so, look, Tremaine, like, you playing yourself, bro. You playing yourself, bro. Tremaine, I do this for a living. I'm about to come back. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. Now, for all the Neanderthals out there that think that a woman is supposed to submit to you just because you have a penis, chill.
Bruh.
Pause.
Please.
Pause.
Several seats over there.
Because especially now, if we're talking about a certain group of women from a certain demographic who happens to be brown and beautiful, and round and luscious,
That's right.
they're the most educated people in America.
Word.
They're higher paid than their male counterparts.
Word.
And they're much more smarter than you.
Amen.
So having them submit to you, why would a superior being submit to you in that instance? Be a man. Be the man that she needs, that she will want to submit to you. But be a person of your word. Nobody's going to submit to a liar. Nobody's going to submit to a little boy who's playing games. Nobody's going to submit to somebody who changes their mind every 5 minutes. So if you want to be treated like a man, you got to be a man. And that's just a message to all my brothers out there. I know I joke a lot, but I got to keep it 100. I got 2 daughters. I got 4 sisters. And this is my sister. Y'all, be men. Be men first. We got to learn how to become men. And then if women want to submit to you, let me just tell you that. A woman likes to brag about her man. She likes to say, my man drive this car. My man got this job. And he don't even have to be $1 million. He could be making $10,000, but he doing it on his own. He's an earnest person. He's of his word. He has substance. And see, what they say, people, the price of everything, but the value of nothing.
Ooh.
So be worth something. That's it.
And, the thing is that women, and I'm going to say black women because I'm a black woman, we have learned to be so strong, and it's difficult for you to say, okay, just suspend all your knowledge, suspend everything that you know, and then, like you said, because you got a penis, no, it's not happening that way. So, yes, she don't trust you. That's the problem. All right.
Comment, Kimberly said, you got to know what you are submitting to before you can get into it, exactly what the question said. You should know what you're getting into. So, yeah. And then Tremaine, he seconded what she said. You're so right about that.
Yes. Okay, so last question of the night. At what point in your relationship do you know you're ready to be married?
Huh? At what point in your relationship do you know you want to be married? Go ahead, Kilolo. I see you.
How you know, Kilolo?
That's my little Libra over there, y'all.
I feel like that's a loaded question, and it's different for everybody. Some people might not never get married, and that's okay with them. I know people that were together for 10 years, got married, and then got a divorce the next year.
Yep.
So, like, would y'all still be together had you not got married? You know what I mean? So you got to do what works for you. Also, don't pay attention to what everybody else is doing. Like, oh, I'm married by 30, kids by 35, house by, you know what I mean? You can't compare your timeline to anybody else's. That's just miserable. I think you'll be miserable doing that.
True.
That's
True.
a fact.
Yeah, you can't compare it. Everybody's journey is different. I don't think that you know when you want to be married. It's a feeling where I don't want this person to go anywhere. But marriage used to be about joining families together and bringing wealth together and making sure lineages lasted. This family brought its wealth to this family. I think we should go back to arranged marriages. I know
You know what?
I know it's not popular. I'm dead serious.
What are
I think
you
I could pick
talking
a better
about?
mate for my kids than
Who's
they could
doing
pick
the
for themselves.
arranging?
Me. The parents.
Could you imagine?
Be honest. Do you think you could pick a better mate than your children? Because they be going with their heart. We going with the money. When you pick a better mate for your kids?
Listen, let me tell you
and my
something.
my daughters would love it because I want athletic grandchildren, so I'll be bringing these big behemoths. They were like, "Thank you, Daddy." I'm like,
Listen, let me tell
this
you
man has
something.
3% body fat. This is my future son-in-law.
Listen, Mommy, Daddy, I love you so much, but I would never, ever, 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 ever date anybody that you pick for me. Like, never. What?
And that's the problem with America right now.
What?
She won't submit to her parents. We just had this conversation. Was you listening to yourself a few minutes
Call
ago?
me hard-headed, because it
So-
ain't happening. Never. What?
Hold on, we got a comment.
Okay.
You know what?
Yes.
Because the dad know a good man for you. Because I can remember as a kid, my oldest sister wanted to go with a guy that was in high school with her. But then my dad knew the better pick. But then she wanted to marry the other guy, and the other guy wasn't a better pick, but the guy that my dad knew was for her, and she missed that opportunity because men know men.
Okay. Okay. Let me say it like this. Everybody isn't qualified just based on who they are in your life. It could be your daddy. It could be your teacher. It could be whoever in some type of authority position in your life. But you have to have a little discernment to be able to look at the person and say, you know what, you ain't wrapped too tight. So I'm good, but I love you. But no,
Because if I didn't mean to cut you off. If my dad was still living,
get a little closer to the mic.
If my dad was still living through my teenage years, I would have never crossed boundaries with the guys that I did meet, because my dad would have said, no, that's what's a good choice for you. If my dad was still living, because when my dad passed away when I was 11, he was 43. So I grew up without my dad. Then I didn't know how to discern a man from that point on. I had 3 brothers, but my 3 brothers wasn't that type of brothers to say, well, we the guy out. And I had to go through the hard road, to the hard knots to find out, bang, bang, and I got knocked down from each guy because there wasn't the right type of fit for me. Because I'm like, I'm searching. Instead of, someone there is a brother, a dad figure saying, that's not the guy for you. That's not the guy. Then I had to learn the hard way, and then I end up later on in life, like, why no one told me this? No dad in the house.
No, I understand the absence of either of your parents can cause a hole in your upbringing, your emotional upbringing, and things of that nature. But what I'm saying is that just because a person has a position in your life doesn't make their opinion valid for you. You know what I'm saying? I've seen teachers that didn't have no good dang on sense. I mean, let's just keep it real. I mean, we see politicians that get to places and you like, what in the heck
45.
went wrong with our democracy that this was allowed to happen? What happened?
Wait, I think the original question was, what do you know when you want to marry somebody?
Look, we done went all around the bush. We done went somewhere else. But listen.
I'm just going to say something.
Yeah.
They call marriage an institution for a reason. Like, when you crazy, where they take you to an institution, right? And then when you get on your knees and you open up a wedding ring, right? What type? It's in a box, right?
Yeah.
And that box is white with satin all in it, right?
Okay.
Because it's a baby coffin, and that's where all your hopes and dreams go. And if you think I'm lying, when you get buried, what does the coffin look like? It's white satin, there's satin at the top, just like that ring box.
Whatever.
Don't do it. It's death. They're wedding coffins. They're not wedding rings. And it's small because that's where all your little dreams go, fellas. That's all I'm saying.
Don't listen to him, y'all. He's been married for 50,011,000 years. Okay, so whatever. But I don't know. I don't know. What is it? Is something come over your spirit or something when you just like, I must buy a ring?
He said you're so right. Tremaine said you're so right.
Thank you, Tremaine.
I don't know. You know what, though? Once again, marriage used to be about combining resources together. And, and it's about love as well. You eventually do love that person, I would hope. But we got to get back to that. Because now I see a lot of women that say they don't want to get married. When we were coming up, that was the big thing.
Yeah.
Girls used to say, oh, this is going to be my wedding dress. This is going to be this. Little boys never think about that. And if your little boy is thinking about that, he ain't going to marry no woman.
We want the wedding. We want the cute dress. Come on now. I mean, we want the flowers.
We get canceled later. That's all I'm saying. We get
all the
canceled.
attention. Where you go, Rich? He just done wandered off. See?
Y'all know I'm joking. People be uptight.
But you said eventually. I picked up on that. You said eventually you'll love the person. So it's more so a business arrangement?
Yes. Yes.
I've heard that.
Yeah, it's a business transaction.
It's a business relationship, and then eventually you'll learn to love your partner?
Well, the thing is, hopefully you love to learn your partner. Let's keep it 100. We're talking about American, right? Americans?
I want to love them in the first place to even get to that point. Like
Tremaine said, bro, you got jokes. Tremaine, I'm a professional comedian. Of course I got jokes.
He's actually a professional comedian.
Key Lolo, getting back to what you said. I'm joking, but I'm also real. Like, now I see young ladies who you see it. I don't want to get married. I want to hook up. I'm on Tinder. I'm going to swipe right.
That's a playoff. That's a playoff.
Yes. Tell them, girl.
That's a playoff. You might not necessarily want to get married, like, but you feel like your options are limited, so you might not get married, so you just say, I don't want to get married. You know what I mean?
You think
or
that's what they're doing?
Or the guy that you want to marry don't want to marry you, and you settling. So you'll say, well, I don't want to get married because he don't want to marry you. You know what I mean?
I think these young ladies mean it now.
No, not every woman wants to get married. That's true. I don't know if I want to get married. But when you meet somebody that you love and you have that connection with, eventually I feel like it's natural to not want that person to be with anybody else.
Yeah, that's true. And you can only kill so many people before the police catch up with you.
You know what?
So, and with that being said, I think, look, that we need to look at marriage and what it is. It's a contract between two people in the state. That's what marriage is. Because marriage is in your heart. Like you said, Kilolo, somebody said people be together for 10 years, they get married and get divorced next year. You said that, right? I saw somebody who was together for 20 years, got married and got divorced the next year. Because marriage, people always say marriage is a piece of paper. No, it's not. Marriage is a real commitment.
Listen.
Marriage is a real commitment.
No,
and
for real.
For real. That's why it's easier to just kind of date each other, because everybody on their best behavior. This heifer can leave when she want to. I better act right.
You still dealing with the representative.
Yeah.
It's when you get to that real stuff now. Yeah.
We've been together 20 years. I just met this dude.
No, it really can happen that way.
I agree.
It really can happen that way. You're constantly learning things about each other, and hopefully the things that you're learning and growing through are not destructive or totally burn down the house destructive, because it's going to be a little destruction within the whole scheme of things, because really you are kind of getting rid of all of those old identities, and you're deciding, okay, I'm a partner with this person and we just going to be dysfunctional together.
Don't you love those dysfunctional couples when you meet them, though?
And we gonna figure everybody is dysfunctional to a certain
No, you
degree.
know
I never met the perfect people. I don't know
that
who
one
they
couple
are.
that show up shooting each other and you
Oh
they pull up.
no, yeah, y'all probably should just hang it
gotta
up.
go.
Just don't do it. Yeah.
Please don't talk to her husband, lady.
Whenever we talk about violence, then yeah, you probably don't want to do that. But you know, I don't know. Some people get married for all different reasons.
That's
Some
true.
people want the ceremony. Some people want to dress
Ooh.
up in the pretty dress. They want to have their moment, and they really could care less about what happens to the relationship after it. It's like, I's married now,
Yeah, they just want to
and
walk
let
down
the
aisle
rest
and
of
do
it burn to the ground. But it is work every day. You have to choose to be in this person's life every day. It's not easy. If you're looking for Prince Charming to come swoop in on his white horse or black horse or whatever horse you like, you know, and save you, then you might be a little disappointed. I think that the most disappointed people are the people who have an ideal of what a marriage is supposed to be, what the perfect person is supposed to be. You know, your ideals will kill a relationship faster than infidelity or anything else.
See, you are speaking the truth. It's like you have to have the proper expectations. People are people. Humans are humans. But it goes back to what we talked about once before. We always give courtesy to people outside the house. You got to give courtesy to the person you have a relationship. Courtesy starts at home. Be courteous to whoever you're dealing with, whether you're married or not. Just put that person first. Before you do something, how would this person feel if I did this? How would this make me feel if they did this? And then you know whether you're doing the right thing. But once you start being courteous to each other, the rest of it's easy. It's not hard.
Yeah.
Just be courteous. Don't be phony. Be courteous. And then if you're the type of person who know you can't be courteous, don't get in that relationship.
Yeah.
And the worst thing to do is to lead somebody on. To have somebody thinking you one thing and you a total another.
Just greedy.
You know?
I think that's that greedy stuff. Like,
Is that-
I'm going to tell you exactly what you want to hear so that you don't go give the cookies away to somebody else. That's what that is. But, you know, the thing is that you should be friends. You should have things in common because, you know, past all the superficial things, you have to want to choose that person over and over and over again. So to me, that's how you would know that it was time for you to get married, because it's like, we can do this. you
my
know,
person.
we can work. This is my person.
My person.
This is my best friend.
Yeah.
We can work on this.
Yeah.
Anything short of that, if you're looking for a party or something like that, then you wasting your time.
Hey, Kimberly Harris says, I'm finally getting married when I'm ready, because I'm a be one day. I want a divorce, so now I'm ready. My marriage is September 24th, 2022. Congratulations. Tremaine said you're so right. Looks like I'm single, but I'm taking my time, is what Tremaine said. I'm going to find that woman soon. She's out there. I'm going to give him, I don't want to get married, but one day I'm going to get married. He went on to say, I'm just glad I'm single. I'm going to get married soon, though. If I can get married when I find a good woman who treats me right.
Well, that's a good
Well, he
indicator.
sounded like a good guy, too, because he was really concerned when I was saying that thing. So, Tremaine, ladies, if you online and you see Tremaine, what's his name, Tremaine Young, y'all better look him up. He's single, ladies. He is single. Sound like a good guy. But you know what?
Yeah.
They ain't going to like him.
You know what?
Women don't like good guys. Y'all don't
Yes,
like
we
good
do.
guys.
Yes, we do. That's
No,
a
you
myth.
don't.
That's a myth. That's a
Women
myth.
don't. Y'all like the bad boys.
No, I'm not bucking to be abused. So if that's what y'all thinking, if that's the consensus among men that we just want to be somehow mentally or emotionally abused, then you barking up the wrong damn tree.
That's how I found my last 5 women. I
You know
strong
what?
arm robbed them, and then I called them and said, girl, I was just playing. You want your purse back?
You know what, y'all? Thanks so much for hanging out with us for Relationship Hour. We do this every Tuesday right here at Sylk's at 21300 Libby Road. And we love for you guys to join the conversation. Thank you so much to everybody who joined us online. My partner right here, Big Rich Greene. You can catch him on all type of comedy shows. He about to blow up, y'all. He doing his thing.
Y'all come out, see me next week. I'll be at the Silver Spot Cinema on the 21st, y'all. Hot show I'll be hosting. My girl LOL Brielle is going to be closing out the show. She just did a show this weekend with B. Simone.
All right.
Fire. Chara Curtis, y'all. Keith Silly and Kelly Thewlis, y'all. Come out and see us.
What's your social media?
Social media, I'm Big Rich Comedy everywhere. Big Rich Comedy everywhere.
Big Rich.
Augusta, Georgia, I'm coming for you on the 30th. Y'all better be ready. We bringing some Ohio flavor.
Yeah, okay. All right, what's up, my girl DJ Kilolo? How can they follow you?
They can follow me at DJ Key Lolo on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, all that good stuff.
I know that's right, girl. Listen. And you can get good food. It doesn't have to be Tuesday. I mean, we got the Taco Tuesdays.
Taco
I
Tuesday.
see some good food coming out that kitchen. Come by.
Some of the best drinks in Cleveland right here.
Some of the best drinks. We got our bartenders back there. What's up, Kara?
Hey, come get this hookah. My man DJ 1+2 got the hookah
Yeah.
jumping off, y'all. If you need your stuff videotape, we got my man Freddie Bryant from Ill Designs here. Hey, Sylk's got everything for everybody.
Everything for everybody. So come on back. Tuesday, he's got everything going on all through the week. So
All through the
make
week.
sure you follow
Behind it.
Sylk's. And we'll be back next Tuesday with Relationship Hour, and we hope to see you then.
Peace.